Hello everyone, and welcome to the world of Cosmic Spacehead, a point-and-click of all things for the Genesis. It works like any other point-and-click. You move your cursor, tell your little dude where to go, and try to pick up and examine anything, like this background right here. Depressingly enough, apparently Cosmic's hometown is nothing but cardboard scenery, but we found some money lying on the ground, so let's ignore that. The only actual real building appears to be this post office, so that's probably where we should be headed. We can see there's a vending machine right here, but if we try to use our only dollar on it, Cosmic will tell us that's not a very wise investment. Though two characters from the Jetsons appear to be manning these booths over here, so let's talk to them instead. Yes, we are dead broke, but perhaps the man over here will be slightly more helpful in our quest. Cosmic does look rather ridiculous. He appears to resemble some kind of sentient toothpaste. I'm sure someone could find ironic humor in that joke. Over here we have a little joypad, a teleporter key which will allow us to travel back to Old Lino Town at any time we please. Not that there's anything to come back to. Travel between locations is done in little platforming segments. The platforming segments in Cosmic are not terribly difficult, but if you become complacent, you're just going to die over and over again, because these stages are very short and you will attempt to speedrun them. These little egg creatures, they simply turn around and jump when they reach the edge. Just, be patient and wait for them to land before you leap over them. In the original NES version of this game, Cosmic could not actually change his direction in mid-jump, making it far more difficult. Collecting 10 of these green things gets you an extra life. We can see there's a rather peculiar slot machine sitting right here. But with odds like that, can we really afford not to gamble? And now we're absolutely filthy rich. That little P in the center right there gives you a password, so when you die you can just restart from the last location you were left off at. I don't think we can pass up an opportunity like that. So we can't drive, but we are plenty old enough to gamble. We're just gonna leave and take our condescending helium balloon with us. There is another exit to Old Lino Town over to the right, so that's where we're headed next. So you may notice there appears to be absolutely no plot in Cosmic Spacehead. Well, you're pretty much right about that. The game picks up after the first Cosmic Spacehead game, which came out for the NES, where Cosmic returns from his crash landing on Earth, but no one will believe that he even went to Earth in the first place. So this entire game right here is just Cosmic trying to find a camera and go back to Earth to take pictures. It's pretty much just a massive excuse to go different places and do different things. You never have to worry about this game losing track of the plot because there just isn't one. The entire game boils down to a string of miscellaneous sub-objectives, basically. There appears to be some sort of horrifying creature over there, so we should run right up next to it and stare at it. Maybe he's just grumpy. Maybe if we gave him our condescending helium balloon, it would cheer him up a little bit. Yeah, that seems about right. There were actually 2 other versions of this game, three. An NES version, a Master System version, and an Amiga version. The Amiga version is almost identical to this one, while the Master System version is basically just a port of the NES version. Unlike the Egg Fellows, these Spring Guys don't provide any sort of challenge at all, they just walk back and forth. The original NES version of this game was not licensed by Nintendo. Much like all Codemasters games on the NES, it was produced unlicensed. But Sega said, sure, we'll take your dopey toothpaste superhero. No problem. This game actually controls far better than it seems. So we've come across what appears to be a very small puddle of water, but it's very cold, and because Cosmic is a huge baby, he doesn't want to swim in it, because it's too cold and it's too wet. The water is too wet to swim in. There was actually a 3rd exit back in Old Lino Town, so we're not completely out of leads just yet. Leads to absolutely nowhere in particular. Planet Linoleum does not seem like a terribly convenient place to live. Cameras are not readily available, the sky is full of squigglies, and water is too wet to swim in. Also, we cannot confirm if anyone we've met so far actually has legs. The planet's natural geography would probably do well in some sort of art museum, however. I wonder what the main source of income is for Linoleans. Do they all just play the slot machine over and over? Is there some sort of government in play? I have a lot of questions that probably are never going to be answered. This just appears to be a border checkpoint into other towns. After she learns we don't have a passport, we're just booted out immediately. We appear to have exhausted all of our options, but we do have some more money to spend. A vending machine that dispenses gunpowder. Perhaps we could take some photos and use those for a passport. I imagined if I worked here, I would probably go insane from the music. Now that we have some money, let's talk to the inquiry's office again. Cosmic will call every person in this game either a dude or an it. There are apparently no females. We apparently made a letter with our notepaper, asking our cousin Linochev for some help in finding a camera. We can mail it, but of course he's not going to respond instantly. Now that we have our passports, we can see about that lady letting us go forward to no destination in particular. Well, sir, that planet does not appear to actually exist, but otherwise, everything seems to be in perfect order. These stages can be much more difficult than the first few, not because of those helicopter fellows, but because of the jumps themselves. At some point, it does stop being worth it to try and get extra lives. Is that a fish? Are we underwater right now? I cannot tell where we are. They appear to be googly-eyed fish with goggles. Welcome to Formica City, which is just as desolate and lifeless as Old Lino Town. There's another teleport key over here, which will allow us to come back at any time we please. And a giant button, which turns off this electric shield, but, of course, as soon as we step off, the electric shield reappears. I suppose we have nothing left to do now but teleport back to Old Lino Town. I recommend you turn your volume down slightly. We appear to be glowing as a side effect from the teleportation, but that's not particularly useful at this moment. Perhaps a reverse trip will set things straight. Quite the opposite, it seems, as there now appears to be two of us. I believe it's rather obvious what needs to be done right now. It's a shame Cosmic Spacehead did not use this opportunity to explore the thematic relevance of cloning. After all, are they really both Cosmic Spacehead, or are they separate entities as they have now experienced entirely separate things? It doesn't matter anyway because the clone vanishes. I die here very frequently, mostly because I refuse to follow my own advice. In my defense, the platforming can be rather tricky. Let's give that one more go. We appear to be at the coast, which of course means, yep, there's water. And because Cosmic is a huge wimp, he will not get in the water or interact with it in any way. Luckily, we still have one more location left available to us. We can only desperately hope at this point that this path does not lead us to water. Cosmic doesn't seem like much of a hero, though I'm not sure if he ever claims to be. Regardless, people are going to make assumptions when you wear the cape. You know, that it comes with that. You know, in Cosmic's case, either people mistake him for a superhero or for some sort of off-brand Plok. There's not a lot of wiggle room between the two. And we arrive at another coastline, this time with a tub and some icing? Of course, we're going to want to take the icing with us. However, Cosmic claims that the tub appears unsafe. I really think he's just making up excuses at this point. We are now blocked off from every direction, so there's nothing we can do but return to Old Lino Town and gather our thoughts.